A chassid once came to the Rebbe Marash on the private audience. And this particular chassid, instead of using this precious moment to discuss with the Rebbe his own issues, he suddenly broke out in tears. And he cried to the Rebbe that a friend of his is going through an extremely difficult moment. Family health issues. He has serious parnasa, livelihood issues. And just altogether, the person is suffering terribly. And as he was relating this to the Rebbe, he was bitterly crying. And then the Rebbe tells him, your friend has already been helped. In astonishment, he didn't understand what the Rebbe meant, so the Rebbe told him, when one person has such deep feeling to the point of bursting out in tears for the plight of someone else, this is what brings the greatest salvation. This is the bracha. This is the help. And you should know that your friend has already been helped. I'm reminded of this story now, obviously, when our hearts go out to our brethren in Ukraine. The stories that are coming out from there is extreme. Harrowing stories, but then exceptional, heroic stories. When you think of those shluchim, those emissaries that stayed behind, they were able to leave. The reason they didn't leave was because they felt there's a responsibility to the Jewish people, to the communities. And when we talk about community, it's not just those who are members of their communities. Chabad Shluchim has no membership. To them, every Jew in his or her city, or even coming from further away if there is a need, that's their responsibility. That's what they feel they need to do. So they stayed behind. And if you had the opportunity to listen yesterday, you were able to hear how this woman, this mother with little children, and by the way, it's a mother of 10 children with a little infant. Why? Because they feel they need to be there for someone else. So we hear these stories of suffering, and then you hear these stories of tremendous heroism. So what we can do is, as the parsha of this week, we're concluding the Sefer Shemais, the second Sefer of the Chumash. Shemais, which means names. Names is our identity. Ve'ele Shemais b'nei Yisrael, as it said, the reason why one of the things that kept us going throughout the exile of Egypt was because we kept our Jewish names. We kept our Jewish identity. So ve'ele Shemais b'nei Yisrael, the importance of every single Jew, which is what Parshas Pekudah is. Moshe Rabbeinu takes an accounting, takes an exact amount of what he spent for the Mishkan to tell us that every piece of gold, every piece of silver, every piece of copper, in other words, makes no difference if it's a Jew is a golden Jew, a silver Jew, or a copper kind of a Jew. Every single one is important. And we conclude the Sefer Shemais with that, and at the end of Shabbos we're going to say, Chazak, Chazak, v'nis chazek. We have to strengthen ourselves. And we take strength from each other. We need to take strength from those shluchim, who they show an amazing amount of inner strength, which we know where they got it. It's not a secret. Ve'ele Shemais. They call themselves Chassidim. They call themselves Lubavitcher Chassidim. They call themselves Shluchim. That's their name. Yes, this is the koyach, this is the power, this is the strength that the Rebbe gives every single shliach and shlucha. So chazak, chazak, v'nis chazek. We should send them our blessings. We should send them, in addition to the financial support that they desperately need. But we should also send them our Avas Yisrael, our love, another kapitel Tehillim, another mitzvah, caring simply as the story with the Rebbe Marash. And v'nis chazek, we will draw strength from each other. And we certainly hope that they will be safe and secure wherever they are. I understand that at this very moment while I'm speaking, there's thousands of people packed into trains like sardines with no food, traveling for 20 hours to get to safety. So the Eibishter should protect them. And the Eibishter should bring already the end of Sefer Shemois. In Sefer Shemois we speak about exile, but we also speak about Exodus, about the redemption. So it should be the end of the exile and the beginning, or actually not the beginning, but the end of the complete Geula, redemption. And we should spend this Shabbos with Mashiach, with all the Jews from all over the world, in the Beis HaMikdash. Good Shabbos.